welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We hope you're having yourselves a wonderful morning this morning and a very safe and happy week. I am ecstatic to be here. We have a wonderful group of opportunities here to get to know people in our community all through the state of New York. Inside of Mon Paz, popcorn.com is what's popping. We're going to start the show off, as we always do on a Wednesday, with Dolphin Time. And this edition of Dolphin Time is going to bring you into the Dolphin Dive with Jeff Lonczak, the head coach of the LeMoyne Dolphins men's and women's tennis teams, and an avid Chicago Bears fan. So we'll be discussing with him coming off of that first Division I season for men's and women's tennis, as well as the NFL draft and his take on the Chicago Bears' first pick, ninth pick, and throughout the draft. Then, speaking of the NFL draft, we heard last week, literally a week ago, from Cole Burgess from SUNY Cortland, the wide receiver in Division III, coming off a 2023 national championship, who told us on the show why he should be in the NFL, and a week later, he is, with the Cincinnati Bengals signing after the NFL draft. The wide receiver coming out of SUNY Cortland has an opportunity to go to Cincinnati and show Joe Burrow and the gang what he can do. And in hour number 2 of this broadcast at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we will have a very special conversation with the Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse Bobcats baseball team. You will hear from head coach Sean Peak, DJ Hill once again, and for the first time ever, Taj Walden. This is a very emotional special that we do. There's comedy, there's tears, there is a deep appreciation for baseball, life, friendship, and what it truly means to work toward your goals. You do not want to miss a second of our Bobcat Buzz inside of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, which will air as its own video at 10 a.m. this morning. So, with that being said, plenty of great stuff coming up. And first and foremost is Mr. Lonczak here, who is going to be coming in picture with me from Costa Rica. This poor man out there in Costa Rica enjoying his life. I'm going to say a couple things before we get started here. 1, he's a terrific coach. 2, he's an even better person and friend. 3, he didn't invite me to Costa Rica, so I don't know what I did wrong. Jeff, how are we doing today? What's going on?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. So, why did my plane ticket get lost in the mail? What happened?
I don't know the budget. The budget's tough. There's always next year. Like I said, we could be in a different location. Who knows?
Yeah. So very happy. All jokes aside, to have you down there in Costa Rica going and, of course, recruiting and looking for the future of men's and women's tennis. Why Costa Rica? What can you tell us about being down there right now?
Yeah, so I happen to have a friend who's an ITF coach. So he's based out of Dallas, Texas. We spend about 30 weeks on the road a year. So he's out here for an ITF level 4 tournament. I got an Airbnb right across the street. It's just ideal. I get a chance to meet with his players, and then I have a few contacts here because I coached a kid who was top 5 in Costa Rica named Felipe Cruz years ago. So he got me a hold of his coach. I know an agent down here as well who was a very good tennis player, still is. So yeah, just kind of a big networking thing with the backdrop being a really high-level junior tournament.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, you got an Airbnb right across the way. Why was it so important for you to be specifically at this tournament in this part of the world right now? What is it about the talent that you're looking at that you felt like, of all the places you could go to, this was the one to pinpoint?
Yeah, so I mean, it's basically Brent Kilrick, who's my friend and a coach down here, and I wanted to try to piggyback on one of his trips. He's going up north. He's being driven up to Nicaragua, either depending on how his players do, Friday, Saturday. So I could catch him in San Jose, which is a pretty easy trip from Syracuse. So it worked out to be nice. He hooked me up with the Airbnb, and yeah, no, it's been really cool.
And for you, we're coming off of year one in D1 for both programs. What have been the takeaways for you, Jeff? What have you seen from? I know you've played Division One opponents before when LeMoyne was a D2 institution. I know that you put them on your non-conference schedule, but what can you say about year one as a fully fledged Division One program for men's and women's tennis, and just what your takeaways were overall?
Yeah, so it's been an amazing learning experience. I feel blessed and lucky to have been a part of it, this transition. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I have to put together a better recruiting plan from where we were before, and it starts here, kind of getting boots on the ground and trying to develop 2 years in advance rather than like my totally. I was basically looking at videos, talking to people that I knew, and recruiting that way. Now I want to be in a more I want to be there in a lot of these tournaments to actually be able to look and meet people and meet kids, because at the end of the day when I'm doing my recruiting, a lot of times I'm looking at video, I'm looking at results. I have no idea who these kids are. So sometimes it hasn't happened. I haven't gotten unlucky. All my kids have been good, but you never really know. So here I'm talking to a kid who's you know top three in Costa Rica. He's considering LeMoyne next year, and I talked to him for an hour and a half yesterday. We talked about tennis, we talked about life, we talked about microclimates in San Jose, we talked about the central market. I mean, it's just this opportunity that I've been blessed with, that I can really kind of get to the next level, which is where we want to be, and I think this will help us get there.
And like you said, I mean, physically being there makes a difference. I've heard from student athletes before that said, I got this phone call from this coach, and I heard from this coach and that coach and that coach, but this was the only coach that came to see me. This is the only coach that flew overseas, the one that came to my hometown and took the time. It means a lot, and it's unique, for coaches to do certain things and make sure they're there. You're a personable guy. You and I never just talk about sports. We always talk about life, and Wake Up Call is all about where sports meets life. So when you have these moments with these student athletes, physically being there and talking to them about things that are important to them and what matters to them, have you already kind of seen in the time that you've been down there in Costa Rica, has there already been moments where you're like, wow, like you don't get this over the phone, you don't get this over Zoom, you don't get this over a stat sheet? Have you already kind of seen that happen?
Oh yeah, I mean, the networking piece out here has been huge. I never would have met there's a guy called Rafa who works in an academy built by a Hungarian family in the Dallas, Texas area. I never would have met him. No way, unless I'm here. Now he's got a very small academy, but I know where he played in college, so we can talk about that. And that opportunity presented itself. Then happens to be a guy that's traveling, with the kid from the Czech Republic who runs an academy in Spain. So I mean, all these things, I'm looking at it and saying like, geez, this is great for LeMoyne. People are gonna know us, which might never had that opportunity to actually know us.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I'm just like you said. I'm looking back and I'm thinking to myself, this is just a great opportunity.
Yeah, and being there and being able to kind of, well, I put it to you like this: when your season ends for any head coach, and right after your season ends, you end up in Costa Rica. I mean, that's a nice place to reflect. So I feel like it's a good, well, what I'm saying is, and all jokes aside, is for me, when I need to kind of sit down and I need to think about the big picture, I always, and I tell people this all the time, when you get up in a plane, you're physically above everything. But when I get up in a plane, while I'm physically above everything, I actually mentally get above everything. I emotionally get above everything. I spiritually get above everything. And it allows me to kind of see why I'm doing what I'm doing, and allows me to reset. And then when you get to be around like the sun and the nice weather and this and that, it gives me kind of that peace and that silence to figure out what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and all those things. So do you feel like this has been a good place to clear your mind and really just be able to reflect on the season, kind of take a deep breath, and maybe see some things more clearly than you were a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, completely. And it's beautiful because I can get out there at 7 o'clock in the morning and go for a run. I mean, I just did. It's awesome. And the weather's great. And I can kind of feel that, connection with where I am and try to sit back and look at the season and take it all in and say, okay, did I do enough? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm asking myself those questions. Did I do enough at practice? Did I do enough in the recruiting space? Did I do enough here? Because I can't do this unless I'm doing my best. So I mean, it's been a nice opportunity to reflect on all of that.
And speaking of reflection, coming off of this first season, we're also coming off of the NFL draft. I gave my mock draft for the entire first round. We've done that for multiple years now. We do it at Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York. Al Romano and I bring that to you, and we did it once again. And my original take, and I think I told you this, but my original take was pick 1 for the Bears, Caleb Williams, the quarterback out of USC. Pick 9 overall was Rome Odunze, wide receiver out of Washington. In my mock draft final note here, I gave them Byron Murphy and said, oh, maybe they'll go defense. But when I was making that pick, I was going, yeah, but like Rome is where I thought they would go. So ultimately, they did that. They went Caleb and Rome, wide receiver, quarterback, coming out in that first round, quarterback first, then their wide receiver. Thoughts about it for Chicago? Like it, dislike it? What's your take on what I originally thought was going to happen actually coming to fruition?
Yeah, I mean, I think Caleb, they had to take him. I mean, I think from a talent perspective, he's the number one guy. Will he be the best guy? I don't know that. Jaden Daniels may have better measurables. Drake May probably has a little bit better arm. But yeah, I think that was a pick we had to make, and I'm happy with it. The Rome pick, I think, you got 2 former Pro Bowl wide receivers in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, and having Odunze in that room to learn, because I just don't know how long Keenan's going to be. I think he could be only a single-year guy. It's possible we may resign him. I don't know. But, yeah, I think it was a great pick. I liked it. I'm always into lines, so I wouldn't have been upset with Byron Murphy. But yeah, I can't. I think Rome. I mean, they're calling him an amazing talent. So yeah, I think it was good all around.
So how do you feel about the Chicago Bears moving forward?
I mean, I think it's playoffs or bust, and from a fan perspective, I mean, we're young clearly, but I think what we've done with the draft and free agency, I mean, I think we should be a playoff team, and we're in a very difficult division, I think, now. So it's not going to be easy, but yeah, I believe we should be there. So yeah, I'm excited.
That coming here from Jeff Lonczak, the LeMoyne Dolphins men's and women's tennis head coach and an avid Chicago Bears fan. Let's spin back to the Dolphins for a second here. You go back to the NEC, to the tournament, and just your takeaways from that, just what you saw overall from the NEC. This is the first season in D1. It's also the first season in the Northeast Conference. What kind of sets with you and has, as you've had this time to think about it, go over it, see that big picture like we were talking about, what is it about the NEC that you have really focused in on, zeroed in on, and said, okay, like you said, am I doing my best job? Am I, scheming the way I need to be scheming? Am I bringing out the right recruits and this, that, and the third? What is it about the NEC that you learned that you're currently utilizing that knowledge and wisdom as you're recruiting?
Well, I think I have to be more intentional in a lot of different ways. Number one, in the D2 space in the Northeast, I kind of figured out a way to, pass a bunch of programs just based solely on my ability to evaluate players and maybe, I don't want to say sell them, but recruit them to come to LeMoyne. And it's not enough now. The NEC has terrific coaches. with solid facilities. The ability of those coaches to evaluate players is solid. So I have to do more. I have to do better. I have to be more intentional in the recruiting space. At practice, like last year, I really went the grad student route. We had a lot of old players, and at the end of the day, what am I really going to do with them? Am I going to develop them? No, they're developed. Am I going to change anything, major in their games? Absolutely not. So now I'm in a way kind of rebuilding.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get good players that are young, but I have to be more intentional in practice to develop them to get the skills they need to win in the future.
That coming here from Jeff Lonczak, letting you know what's coming up here for the LeMoyne College Dolphins as they continue to recruit in the men's and women's tennis spaces. He is down in Costa Rica currently doing that, and we appreciate and look forward to the conversations that continue to happen here. Jeff is a mainstay here on the broadcast, and definitely can't wait to see some pictures and continue the conversation from Costa Rica. And then hopefully next week we'll flip the script and Jeff will be sitting here in my studio talking to me on the beach somewhere. So with that being said, Jeff, I appreciate it very much. And like I said, thank you for all you're doing, willing to go around the world. You always have been, and now even more intentional with it to find the future student athletes for men's and women's tennis on the heights at LeMoyne College. I'm already looking forward to next season for both teams, and I'm very proud of the work that you have put forward with these teams this year, and a lot of bright spots and positivity, including the fact that women's tennis had the first NEC win of any program on the heights at LeMoyne in this new history of Division I. So, with that being said, Jeff, have a safe and wonderful trip, and I'll continue to be in touch with you, I'm sure. I hope everything goes well in recruiting, and I look forward to hearing all about it.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Dan. And I can promise you, you're about the only person that I would leave that beautiful sun for to come say hello. And I'll do it anytime for you. I love you, man. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, I love you back, man. I'll talk to you soon. Be well and stay safe.
Thanks. Bye.
See you. That coming from Jeff Lonczak here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And that was a really nice message. So that was really nice from Jeff Lonczak here saying, you're about the only person I would leave that beautiful sun for. That means a lot, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. So with that being said, we are going to stay in our picture-in-picture world, and we're going to be welcoming Cole Burgess here in just a second on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Once again, you are with us worldwide on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /Wake Up Call DT. You're also live with us on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So there's many ways for you to get involved with the show worldwide. You can watch and listen from Costa Rica, where Jeff Lonczak is right now, on our YouTube, Facebook, and Podbean feed. So make sure, wherever you are, that you tune in to us, and we appreciate that so very much. With that being said, exactly a week ago, I had this gentleman on the show, and he told us why he should be in the NFL. A week later, he is. And that story, to me, is absolutely incredible. It's a testament to living your dreams. It's a testament to putting in that work. It's a testament to, if you dream it, you can do it. If you believe in it, it can happen. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what anybody does. It matters how you feel, how hard you work, what you see in yourself, and what you're willing to do to get there. And so I am absolutely incredibly proud that last Wednesday, Cole Burgess came on the show and he told us why he should be in the NFL. And a week later, Cole Burgess is in the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals. Here is SUNY Cortland Red Dragons wide receiver alum and 2023 national champion, Cole Burgess, an NFL wide receiver. Cole, how we doing?
I'm doing well. That has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, man. And I mean, think about this. Exactly a week ago, you and I were live here on the feed talking on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora about why. Why should you be there? What have you done? What have you learned from the adversity? What have you learned from the peaks and valleys? How have you grown? on the field, off the field, why you would be good in the NFL, what you bring to the table, the national championship run, to know that exactly a week later from that conversation, you're in the NFL. What does that feel like for you, man? Bring me into your mind and your heart that a week ago we said it should happen, and a week later it did happen.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, when we talked a week ago, in my mind, I knew I was going to get a chance. I knew I was going to be here. But it's cool to finally, be here. And I've already started learning the playbook, and I get flown out to Cincinnati a week from tomorrow.
So for you, like you said, you're already starting to learn the playbook and whatnot. I mean, it was the draft ended and it was almost immediate, which you had a belief it was going to be, that you would get a phone call. Was Cincinnati the first phone call? Was there a bunch of phone? Like, bring me into the draft ends, and some guys are getting calls during the draft as well. So did you get calls during the draft? Through your agent? Was there stuff happening while the draft's going on? How quickly did it happen? After, kind of just bring us through who was talking to you, when was it happening, and how did this all come together?
Yeah, I'm getting talked to, like, some phone calls during the seventh round from teams. And my agent's also talking. He's pulling strings behind the scenes. He's doing most of the work. And basically, Cincinnati was the best offer and the best opportunity that we thought. So by the time the seventh round rolled around and picks kept going off the board, we basically had the deal lined up. So if I didn't get drafted, I was going to go to Cincinnati.
And like you said, people talking with the agent, people talking with you. How many teams reached out? What was kind of the highway of Cole Burgess conversation? How did that, how many teams in the NFL were reaching out? Was there anybody else? It was a close second. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'd say maybe. See, I don't know for sure how many my agent was talking to, but I had, I think, 3 or 4 reach out to me during the draft.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know much about what they were offering and stuff, but Cincinnati they expressed the most interest in me. And also, me and my agent thought it was the best opportunity for me to make the team.
So you talk with your agent about this, and they're reaching out to you, they're reaching out to your agent. What was the conversation like about Cincinnati when, what did they talk to him, talk to you, and then call your agent, or your agent called you? Bring me into kind of the Cole Burgess war room, so to speak, of how did Cincinnati end up happening? What was that conversation like with your agent? Because you said that was the best opportunity, seemed like the best fit. When did that conversation happen, and what was within that conversation?
Yeah, well, it kind of started before the draft. Coach Pitcher, Dan Pitcher, he played quarterback at Cortland, as you know, and he was talking to me, talking to Coach Fitz, talking to my agent, just trying to recruit me to go to Cincinnati. And then we always kept that in the back of our head, like, hey, this guy, there's not many NFL teams that are going to have any interest in me, let alone like pull for me, as a Cortland alum would. So having that connection and having somebody recruiting me like that was definitely one of the things that was interesting in getting me there. And yeah, during the draft, I mean, I didn't really talk to Cincinnati at all during the draft, but I remember right after Dan Pitcher gave me a call and basically welcomed me to Cincinnati.
And so to have that, like you said, to have that connection to the Cincinnati Bengals and have that Cortland connection, just what that means, and to get that phone call about that, like you said, Dan Pitcher, offensive coordinator, he was promoted to on the Cincinnati Bengals staff. To get that phone call from him, what did that mean to you? I mean, his hometown is Cortland, New York. His college was SUNY Cortland, and here he is as the offensive coordinator. And like you said, to have somebody pulling for you in the NFL to go there, there's this Cortland bridge between upstate New York and the Cincinnati Bengals when he's the one that gives you that phone call. Just what that meant to you.
I mean, it was like everything came full circle at that moment. I'd say the Cincinnati Bengals is probably one of the teams, the top 2 teams I followed just as an NFL fan. I'd say with the Chiefs and the Bengals. I watched every one of their training camp highlights, OTAs, interviews and stuff. So, I mean, the fact that I'm going to be in the building next week is crazy to me. It really is a full circle moment, and I'm excited for it. I'm grateful for Coach Pitcher and the opportunity.
What did Dan Pitcher say to you?
went along the lines of like, dude, you're an NFL player. Welcome to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I remember I was like, so are you guys gonna fly? Am I flying out? Are you flying me out? And he goes, yeah, man, it's the NFL. We're flying you out. And I remember I was like, sorry, I've been in the NFL for 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, for this moment, the story within the story, right, is that connection to Cortland between Dan Pitcher and you, to know that not only is he on the staff, I mean, he could be anybody on the staff, but he's the offensive coordinator. To know that and to have that, how does that make you feel? I mean, you got to put the work in, you got to do everything that you need to do, but knowing he's the OC, if you do everything that's within your control and you show them who Cole Burgess is, that the guy that is running this offense, scheming this offense, putting all these pieces together is from Cortland and an alum of SUNY Cortland, to know that in this world of the NFL that you, like you said, you've been in for a few minutes, to know that making this team means that you would be working with a fellow SUNY Cortland alum, and that person is directly connected to where you fit in this offense. Just what that means. I mean, that honestly sounds like a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me want to work even harder. It makes me hungry because knowing that this is a golden opportunity. If I was going to give Cortland guy on the field a shot or two, and I just got to make the play when it comes to my way. So yeah, it really just makes me hungrier than ever because this is a golden opportunity and an opportunity that not many guys get. Guys might get a chance in the league, but to have the offensive coordinator be an alum from a school, especially Cortland, D3, like that's a pretty cool thing.
Cole, for you, we've spoken about Division III. I went to a Division III school. I was recruited for Division III basketball. What is it about D3 that you love? What do you want to say to the Division III student athletes out there about the value of D3, what you love about D3? It doesn't get the respect that it deserves. It doesn't get the spotlight that it deserves. I tried to change that when I was in college. I decided to broadcast and go that route. And in a year where I was coming off of a coach in high school that I wasn't really fond of the situation, the coach in college was like, oh, come train with us, come run with us, this and that. And I was like, I don't know. And then the broadcasting thing came up, and I took that route and I ran with it. And to this day, I will never regret the beginning of my career was putting a spotlight on Division III student athletes, coaches, and institutions. What is it about D3 that you love, and what do you want to say to the D3 student athletes and coaches?
I just love how Division III, I feel, is just people play it just for the love of the game. You're not getting paid. There's no scholarships. You can't earn a scholarship to play. So it really is just a bunch of athletes out there playing for the love of the sport. And I remember after the national championship game, people reaching out and saying that it was the best, like, pure competition of football they've seen all year, especially for college football. And that's just a testament to Division III and what's so special about it.
And for the student athletes out there like yourself that are striving and believing that they can go somewhere and they could be something, what do you want to say to them as they work through adversity?
Yeah, I mean, that's like, but for football, I mean, if you're good enough, they're going to find you. And that was a saying I always heard and I always kept with me was the NFL gets paid a lot of money to recruit. And if you're good enough, it doesn't matter if you're playing Division III, they're not going to pass up on you because that's literally their job. They get paid a lot of money and make a lot of money to find the best guys. So that was always my mindset, was just to be the best guy I could be. And I knew my chance was going to come eventually.
Cole Burgess here with us, SUNY Cortland wide receiver alum and 2023 national champion. Here's an interesting tidbit about the Cincinnati Bengals. They're now going to have multiple national champions on the team as you head into camp, as we know what Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow can do in Division I-A FBS with LSU, and we know what Cole Burgess has done at SUNY Cortland. What are your thoughts about walking into a building where you have something in common with Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase, and that's the fact that you are all national champions?
It's exciting. I was a big follower of Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase since the national championship, and I followed both of their careers pretty closely, especially Ja'Marr. I really like his game, and I've just followed his whole career. I watched all his highlights, so I'm excited to be able to work with him and and see how he works in person, and just seeing his work ethic and just being a sponge to the game and taking everything I can from him. And especially like Joe Burrow, he's gonna be my quarterback. It's really it's a crazy thing that this is where I'm at right now. But I've worked hard to get here, and I'm excited for the opportunity to get in there and start working with him.
You could go anywhere in the NFL. You go to a team that is a playoff caliber team, a team that could go deep in the postseason, and a team who has one of the most notable quarterbacks and most prestigious quarterbacks as far as what he's done in a short amount of time in the NFL right now. What are your thoughts on going out in the field and having Joe Burrow throw you passes?
It's crazy to think about. I remember watching him get drafted. I never really thought that he'd be my quarterback in someday. So I'm just excited. I got to go out there and just catch the ball, see what it's like to catch a ball from an NFL quarterback. It's gonna be new, but I mean it's the same ball. It's just coming in the same way, maybe a little bit faster, and I just got to do my job and catch it.
When I go online now and I look up the Cincinnati Bengals depth chart, Cole Burgess shows up. When you see that, is it surreal? Has it sunk in yet? I know this is just the beginning of this chapter of your life. This is the beginning of this story. But how does that hit you when you look at a depth chart of a team, like you said, that you followed, and your name is now on this NFL team?
Yeah, it's surreal. To even think about me being in the NFL right now is surreal. But I know that this isn't the end goal. Like obviously this is the right step, but I want to be on the team. After training camp, I want to make that 53 man. Once I get there, then I'll feel a little bit better. But I know that this is cool. A lot of people say like, "Oh, you're in the NFL now. You're in this and that," but this is just the beginning. This isn't really where I want to be. I gotta keep working to get to that 53 man.
And for you, what is it that's going to separate you? How are you going to get to that 53-man roster? What's the focus now? What are you working on now? I know, like you said, in a week you're going to be in Cincinnati. So I know you got the playbook. What are you doing in the here and now already to try and make that 53-man roster?
I would just say my work ethic is what's going to drive me and separate me from the other guys. Already I've just been consumed by the playbook. Coach is throwing a lot at me, trying to see how much I soak up, and that's just been my life. And I can tell that my life is not going to be the same moving forward while I'm in the NFL, because it's going to take a lot of work, and I'm excited for it. This has been my dream to be an NFL player, to have this be my full-time job. In college, you got classes, you got this, you got that, but now I can officially say that football is my job, and there's no excuses now. So whether that's working on the playbook, learning new plays, training PT, just making sure my body's right, it's gonna just consume my life, and it already has. I couldn't fall asleep last night because I kept thinking about certain plays that I couldn't remember, and I had to wake up and go to the room and get the flashcards and just check it again. So yeah, it's already changing my life, and I'm excited for it. It's another mission, it's another goal that I got to try to conquer.
And like you said, and the day that I met you, you said, I've been counted out all my life, and you just kept responding to it. The person that we know today as Cole Burgess, how have you evolved? How have you elevated yourself? How have you grown? Because we've spoken about a lot of different things, and like you said, you've been counted out all your life. So you got this chip on your shoulder. You're going into the NFL believing in yourself regardless of what anybody else thinks about you. So who is Cole Burgess today comparative to who Cole Burgess was a few years ago? How have you grown? How have you already leveled up?
Yeah, I just have the determination and the mindset to be great. I know that if I want to be great, I got to work towards it. And yeah, now I'm going to be around a bunch of other great athletes. So my goal is to separate myself amongst those athletes. That's what I got to do. I got to do the little things that's going to make me great, whether that's asking more questions, staying up a little later, studying plays, doing a couple extra reps or a couple extra sprints, just whatever it is. It's I got to differentiate myself, and it's an everyday thing. I got to stack the days. Whatever I did yesterday, I got to try to do more the next day. So it's really just a mindset to always improve.
And before I let you go, Cole Burgess here, dreams to reality here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. A week ago, we spoke with the SUNY Cortland wide receiver and 2023 national champion. And exactly a week later, after he told us why he should be in the NFL, he is exactly there with the Cincinnati Bengals. So before I let you go, Cole, bring me into the moment when you had that conversation, when Dan Pitcher calls you up and says, you're a Cincinnati Bengal. Where were you? What were you doing? Who was with you? Bring us into that room and that moment of your life.
Yeah, I was with my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, and we were just in the living room. After I got off the phone, they gave me a hug, and then we went. My family had a watch party for the draft. They live in the same town as me, so we drove about 5 minutes to go see all of them and just celebrated. Then I hung out with some friends, but it was just cool just seeing the all the love and support I was getting from the community and my friends and my family, and just seeing how many people were impacted by it. Having a small town kid make it to the NFL it's inspiring to a lot of kids around here, because it doesn't really happen much, and but it can.
And we talked about it last time. There was a guy that made it from Division III football to the NFL, and his name is Jerry Rice. So for you to be a part of this now, a part of this Division III can do it, if you do what you need to do on the field, if you bring that talent in the classroom, if you bring it on the field, if you show the person that you are, they will find you. You can do this from anywhere. To be a beacon of light and a beacon of hope as you step forward. Do you think about that now, that when you're out on the field in Cincinnati, it's not just Cole Burgess, it's SUNY Cortland, it's Division III, it's upstate New York? Do you feel like that is something that you carry with you as a badge of honor, and that gives you even more purpose to work as hard as you do?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said it, I'm representing small school athletes in upstate New York. We're all over the place. Doesn't matter. I'm representing Division III, and yeah, I mean that's pretty cool to know that. If I can do it, anybody can do it, and I hope to not just be in the NFL, but to make an impact on the team, and who knows, like I don't like to set limits for myself, but I'm trying to be the best player I can be and help the team win, and coming from a small school Division III, I think that's going to motivate a lot of younger athletes.
Cole Burgess here. You get the final word, Cole. So as you get set to head off to Cincinnati, what is the final note that you want to make here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning before you put on that Cincinnati Bengal helmet for the first time?
Yeah, I just want to shout out everybody who's been reaching out and showing love and support. I'd appreciate it. I haven't gotten all the messages and all that, but I see everything, and I'm just grateful for all the love that I've been getting from the community and people that are following my career.
Cole Burgess right here on Wake Up Call, dreams to reality, SUNY Cortland wide receiver and 2023 national champion, heading to the NFL to join the Cincinnati Bengals in just a few days as a wide receiver looking to make that 53-man roster. Cole, you are a beacon of light for so many of us, and you have never given up on yourself. You've never given up on your dreams. I am honored to have met you within these last couple months and to have the opportunity to get to know you. I'm very happy that you're gracious with your time with me, and I look forward to continuing to tell your story in the NFL, and I can't wait to see what you do in Bengal Orange.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
All right, I'll talk with you soon. Take care and God bless.
You too.
Take care. That coming here from Cole Burgess on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We're going to take a step aside and get into our wonderful partners in Central and Upstate New York before we get you set for our Bobcat Buzz special in hour number 2.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315 487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York is your one-stop sports card shop. Head over to GG Cards and Breaks Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. You will find them there with basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, all sport, AEW, UFC, and more, including Disney Lorcana and Pokemon cards on site, on location, while supplies last at GG Cards and Breaks. A tremendous place that's so much more than a sports card shop. It is a place that builds up the community, connects people, helps you to stay connected to that little kid inside of you and who you are and what has mattered to you since you were little. That's the thing about sports cards, is that they bring us to a place of, you know, us being kids and collecting and just what that meant to us and what it was like to go out and do that with our family and our friends and, you know, to just have those memories. They bring those memories to you. And if you've never collected cards before, it creates those new opportunities for you to do that. It creates you, you know, give you moments to understand and see, what is it all about? Why is this such an amazing community? Why is it so cool? Why is it so fun? And that fun, that connection, that community, that's something that means a lot to me. And GG Cards and Breaks, they bring that to the table every single day of the week. And I respect that. I respect their consistency. I respect their appreciation for their community, their drive, their dedication, and all that they do to really take something that's fun for all ages and to remind us why it's fun, why it's important, why we buy those cards, and to also bring in new people and say, hey, if you've never done this before, this is what's so cool about it. This is what's so fun about it. And it really does mean a lot to me. I love seeing all different ages there when there's events at GG Cards and Breaks, or there, you know, it's just a random Tuesday or whatever day it may be. You'll see a kid come in there that's maybe 6 or 7 years old, a dad who's in their 30s, 40s. You'll see somebody in there that's 60, 70 years old. And that to me is, it's just an awesome picture of GG Cards and Breaks. It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter if you've collected for a day or for 20 years. What matters is that it is a world that connects us to the teams we love, to the players that we love, to the characters we love when it comes to Pokemon and Lorcana and the Marvel cards. And there's so many memories that come from it. Like I said, I might not be able to remember what I had for lunch, but if I pick up a card, I can tell you who gave it to me, when they gave it to me, what they said when they gave it to me. There's just something different about it. And to experience that difference, you have to go inside of GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Make sure you head over there, let them know that DT sent you, or you can say you heard about it on Wake Up Call. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and on Sundays from 10 to 5. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I thank you for being with us through that extended fast break of all of our wonderful partners that we have here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as we now have shifted gears to our special that is currently airing on Facebook and YouTube. I want to thank Jeff Lonczak. I want to thank Cole Burgess. I want to thank you. God bless to each and every single one of you for watching and listening on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, Monday through Friday worldwide from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. You can find the show simply by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And a big time thanks to our incredible partners in Central and Upstate New York that you can go and visit today. Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, GG Cards and Breaks, Avicoli's, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, and Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Great Lakes Honda City, Mother's Cupboard, and we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your LeMoyne College Dolphins, it's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins on Dolphin Time, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Like today, we start off the Wednesday broadcast with the LeMoyne College Dolphins. First and third Wednesday with AD and DT, typically, Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, with a behind-the-scenes exclusive look at LeMoyne and the Dolphin Dive, diving into stories second and fourth Wednesday of each month of student-athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. Find all of our content with the Dolphins by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the LeMoyne playlist. You can also find the Dolphins on wakeupcalldt.com. For more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com, and as always, Fins Up. Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse are proud exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You can find your Bobcats every month during the Bobcat Buzz, like what is airing this morning in Hour 2 on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. The Bobcat Buzz giving you stories from men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and esports, as well as the administration, including Mary Hawkins, the director for campuses, for the Syracuse campuses of Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, which are on James Street in Syracuse and right off of Route 57 on Oswego Road in Liverpool. Find your Bobcat Buzz on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out our newest baseball special, which is airing now. And of course, you can see the BSC Syracuse playlist on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Bobcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You can find your Bearcats every Tuesday during Bearcat Time, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You will find our specials airing every single month on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, that being the Bearcat Break Room with student athletes, coaches, and administration joining the show from all of their wonderful programs on campus in the southern tier at Binghamton University, and our special with Gene Marshall, the athletics director of Binghamton University, in what we call Moments with Marshall. You could find all of our content with Binghamton, including all of our bonus content. We've worked together for 2 months. Under promise, over deliver has been an understatement. You could find all of our specials with Binghamton by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find our Binghamton playlist there on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Bearcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com. And of course, for more information, go to bubearcats.com. And as always, go Bearcats. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Go and visit Ma and Pa's today, 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, the snack capital of Central and Upstate New York. And I want to give a special thanks to Jeff Lonczak and LeMoyne Dolphins men's and women's tennis, and a special thanks to Cole Burgess and SUNY Cortland and SUNY Cortland's football program, as well as the Cincinnati Bengals, for giving an opportunity to someone who I am a big fan of. So God bless, and thank you so much. Go and watch our special now, airing on Facebook.com and YouTube.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. That Bobcat Buzz that will make you laugh, make you think, and probably make you cry a little bit as well. Make sure you check it out right now as head coach Sean Peak, DJ Hill, and Taj Walden of the Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse baseball team join me for an all-new Bobcat Buzz that you don't want to miss. Take care. God bless.